Welcome to the Love Hub channel, where we discuss matters of the heart and give relationship advice to women. In today's episode, we are going to discuss how to handle relationship stress. Ladies, you know that there are so many factors that can affect a relationship and just make it so stressful. Today, we're going to try to give you some helpful tips. And remember, the Love Hub is a judgment-free zone. We don't judge women here. We are your safe space. Now, let's get to the topic. Number one, figure out what is causing the stress in your relationship. Now, we know that there are many causes, so it's important for you to sit down with your partner and really just list them down so you can figure out how to work through them. One of the biggest mistakes that a couple can do is to ignore the causes. And so you're going to have a lot of unresolved issues in your relationship because you're just pretending that everything is fine. And then you start to wonder, well, why is he being so crabby today? Or why is he such in a bad mood all the time? And that's because there are so many factors that are affecting your relationship and you're not trying to figure out how to resolve them. So you need to make the time to figure out the causes. Sit down with your partner and make a list. Go through it one by one. Have an open and honest conversation with him and make sure to really get down to the details. What is affecting it? Is it finances? Is he having a really hard time at work and is that affecting him negatively? What about you? Are there trust issues between the two of you? There are so many things that the two of you need to discuss. The important thing is that you take the time to figure it out. Otherwise, how can you solve a problem if you don't even really know what's causing it? Number two, show compassion. When you are going through a stressful time in your relationship, you need to be kind to each other. You need to show compassion to each other. For example, if your man is coming home from work and you notice that he's always in a bad mood, he's tired, he's exhausted, he's not communicating well with you, show some compassion towards him. Don't nag him the second he gets through the door. He may be going through a tough time at work and what he needs is some love and support from you. Number three, communicate. When you're both going through a stressful time in your relationship, it's important for you to communicate with each other. You need to let each other know how you're feeling, what your problems are, what issues you may have with the other person. This is really important because your man can't just guess what is going on in your mind, and I'm sure that you can't do the same thing. So if you don't communicate with each other about how you feel, what your thoughts are, what your goals are, what's going on, what's happening at work, and all that stuff, if you don't open up to him, then how is he going to work with you to resolve whatever issues that you may have? Again, he is not a mind reader, you're not a mind reader, and the only way for you to really figure out what's wrong is to have an open and honest communication with each other. Number four, listen. So we just talked about communication. Well, when your partner is trying to communicate his thoughts and feelings with you, make sure to listen, and we mean truly listen. Try to understand where he's coming from, why he's feeling that way. Don't immediately judge him. If he has issues with you and he is trying to let you know what they are, don't act defensively. We know it's hard, but you have to just take a pause, let him speak, listen to what he has to say, and absorb that information. Take it all in. Resist the urge to say, that's not how it really went, or I didn't do that. Just be patient, accept the information, and then be compassionate towards him. Acknowledge his feelings, and then you can tell him your side of the story, but say it in a kind and gentle manner. When you are speaking to someone who is very emotional or who is feeling really down about a lot of things, the last thing you want to do is to make things worse by screaming at him and yelling at him and making a lot of accusations. You want to de-escalate the situation, so it's important for you to act with kindness. Number 5, Work as a team. If you've finally figured out what are the things that are making your relationship so stressful, whether it's personal issues with each other or finances or work, make sure to figure out a plan to resolve those issues, but do it together. Exchange some ideas, listen to each other. If you work as a team, you can pretty much overcome any obstacle that life throws at your way. You just have to learn how to work with each other in a respectful manner, because sometimes when couples work with each other, they tend to, personalities end up clashing and they just end up making things worse. So when you work together, try to make sure that you do it in a calm and respectful manner. Number 6, take a break. When we say take a break, we don't mean take a break from each other if that's not where you're heading. It just means take a break from all the stress and trauma. Go on a date. Go on a little vacation and just focus on the positive things. When we are stressed, we tend to be very pessimistic. We just focus on all the things that are going wrong. So you need to take a break from all of that. Do it for your mental health, your emotional health, and do it for each other. Because when the two of you find some peace and quiet, it will be easier to go back in the grind and really work things out, figure out how to resolve whatever issues you may have. So take a break and be kind to yourselves. Number 7, find ways to de-stress together. Whether that's going on a short mindfulness journey or practicing yoga together, whatever makes you feel calm and collected. Do those things together. When you find yourselves in a stressful environment, or if you're just going through a stressful period in your lives, it's good to channel all that negative energy away from each other. So instead of taking it out on your partner, go take up an art class together or read books, paint your heart out or lose yourself in a beautiful story. Go on this journey of rediscovering each other. Number 8, have a great support system. So if you have friends and family that you can talk to, make sure to reach out to them if you're feeling really stressed in your relationship. They can distract you, they can come over and help you out. It's important for you to have a great support system. Now, if you feel that you really need some help, don't be afraid to reach out to a professional. Go to therapy with your partner. Do whatever it takes to make sure that whatever problems you have with each other will be resolved. These are just a few tips to de-stress your relationship. Now remember, we're not professionals, but we are here for you. Thanks for tuning in.